All right.
We bring the boom.
We bring the boom.
Oh
We
shit.
bring the fucking boom, baby.
Oh my god, I love your costume.
Halloween episode, ladies and gentlemen.
I love your costume. I love your costume. It's a wonderful costume. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whatever time of day you're choosing to watch this video, thank you for being here. I'm Jacob Avillion, and I'm joined, as always, of course, by my dear friend. Today, a little different. Looks a little different today. He's in his Stutch costume, and it's Halloween's coming up. Young man just turned 22 as well. He turned 22, I think, that the day after the last recording. Pretty sure, right? It
Yes.
was last
Yes,
Wednesday.
that is
Yeah.
correct. That is correct.
So
I forgot to bring it up. I was going to bring it up and
I
then I
was gonna
forgot
say
to.
I don't think you ever talked about it, but yep, October 23rd, young man turned 22 years old. Um, so
This is what a 22-year-old looks like, ladies and
this is
gentlemen.
how
Bask in its
22-year-olds are
glory.
supposed to dress, by the way, in case you didn't know. So
I think this is the first year I have two costumes.
yes. Also, we have somewhat of an announcement that's gonna come later in the episode. I'm assuming we should wait. We should wait to drop that bombshell, right? We shouldn't drop it right
We'll
now.
drop it.
We'll drop it when the
Time
topic is
comes.
appropriate. Okay, we have news. We have very good news for
Earth-shattering news for the
yes,
pod.
for just a couple weeks away at this point. Really, like 2.5.
Actually, I need to talk with you
Yes.
after this recording
Coordinate,
just to
yes.
make sure
But
stuff
big news
works.
for the pod about 2.5 weeks from now. So stay tuned.
Massive news.
Massive news. But let's not deliberate any longer. Brayden, how you doing, you sexy beast? What's going on, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I this past weekend I went to a Halloween Halloween party. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Day of, I was like, I need a costume. I was like, maybe my actual Halloween costume will get here in time. It did not. It came on Monday.
Tragic.
2 days later, the party was on Saturday.
Tragic.
So I had to rush to a Spirit Halloween
As one does.
to get a costume.
As one does. All reliable.
I wanted a Scooby-Doo one. They had a Scooby-Doo one that looked cool, but they didn't have my size. They were all small/mediums.
Doesn't work.
I wanted a medium/large. But they did have Stitch, which I thought was pretty cool. It ended up being a hit.
That's good.
People love the Stitch. People love Stitch.
Folks love
went
Stitch.
to that party, had a great time. Was there for I ended up being there for 6 hours.
Yeah,
I was there from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Good shit, man.
Yeah, that's I think that's the most of how I've been doing, what I've been doing. Just working on videos.
As one does.
Had another successful recording session with my friend Jay for Couch Gaming. If you haven't seen it, check out our Mario Party Jamboree playthrough. It's just 2 episodes. It was a lot of fun. And one of my all-time favorite games is going to be coming up this week. We recorded a bit of it.
Good shit.
I love this game to death. It's a game I do not hear a soul ever talk about.
Yep.
But it's an all-time favorite of mine, so get ready to check that out. But yeah, that's it for me, brother. How are you doing?
I'm sleepy as hell. I've gotten a combined 7.5 hours the last 2 nights, and I have to go into work early tomorrow, so I'm taking my ass to bed as soon as we're done here. But other than the sleepiness, I'm doing pretty well. I got this new T-shirt. It's the Garfield "You Are Not Immune to Propaganda" T-shirt. It came in today, right as I left work. So got to open it when I got home. Allegedly, you can get cancer wearing clothes before you wash them because the fibers and shit on them. But it's probably fine. I'll wash it.
It's probably to the same level you can get cancer from doing everything else.
Anything else? Yeah, like soda. You know what I mean? So I'll go. What do you call it? I'll wear this to work tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. But not a whole lot to report on my end. I'm probably going out this weekend. Maybe, probably. So that'd be Friday night. And then I might have to come into work on Saturday and work overtime. So I might just show up to work a little hungover, to work some OT. We'll see how that goes. But not a ton to report on my end. Just living life, doing my thing. And if that's all that is, I think we can get into the meat and potatoes
We
what we
can.
got going on. So, um, not actually. I'm just gonna worst football weekend of the year so far for me because, dear viewer, the last time the Tennessee Volunteers had a bye week, the Titans won. So I didn't have to worry about not having anything to look forward to. Well, the Vols had a bye week, and the Titans had their worst game of the season. It's the worst special teams performance by far you are going to see from any team all year long. They allowed, I think, 262 return yards, something like that. The Lions had more return yards on just kickoff and punt returns than they did on offense. Jared Goff finished the game with less than 100 passing yards.
I remember the first quarter stat was they had 9 net passing yards and 35 points.
Yeah, Titans had 4 sacks early in this game. Like
I
it was
figured that
a
was part of it.
strangest game you're ever going to see from that standpoint because like the Titans doubled the Lions in yardage offensively. Titans had over 400 yards of offense. The Titans had 4 sacks in this game, and they lost 52-14. I don't even know. I don't know what to say anymore after a game like this. It started out kind of fun. It looked like we were going to get into a shootout with them, and that would
It
have
was
been
like
badass.
14-14.
Yeah, and then Mason was dealing on that. Like Calvin Ridley had 112 yards in the first quarter.
Nick Westbrook-Akina had his third straight touchdown in a game.
I was going to mention NWI because
I wanted to beat you to it. You bring him up every week for some reason.
because he's the best fucking player in the world. He is legitimately my favorite player on the team at this point. He's one of the longest tenured Titans. He's like the 4th longest tenured player on the roster. Like, who else? I think Harold Landry's been here the longest. But I think NWI, if he wasn't a rookie in 2019, he was a rookie in 2020. So he's been here long as shit. He's been here longer than just about anybody. And he's really grown from, like, he was a special teams gunner in his rookie season. A good special teams gunner, but he was, like, you could not put him out there at receiver, really, at all his rookie season. Now, he's always been sure-handed. He never drops the easy ones, but he's never really been a guy that gets open. But he's making contested catches. Now, he's gotten open a couple times. He has 3 touchdowns and just 10 targets this year. That's efficiency right there. Leads the wide receiver room in touchdowns by far. Nobody else has more than 1. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this kind of loss. It's just, I mean, nobody's playing to the level they should be. Nobody's coaching to the level they should be. And it's hard to, I mean, what do I have to look forward to the rest of the season? I want to see some growth at least from a coaching standpoint. I want to see the special teams not give up 50 bajillion return yards every single week. I'd like to see Denard Wilson's defense get a sudden stop once this season. They've been put in some bad positions by the offense, turnover-wise, but they usually allow a touchdown after the fact. They haven't played any complimentary football. It's brutal. It's brutal. It sucks. So, quarterback play has obviously been terrible. Tony Pollard is, like, fighting for his life every single week. Like, breaking tackles behind the line of scrimmage to turn up field and get 4 yards. Like, and he does this multiple times a game. And he ended the game with, like, 93 yards rushing. And it's just like, every week, it's like the worst game you've ever seen from a team. And then, here's a random, like, legendary Tony Pollard performance. And poor guy is doing everything he can. And he's, like, the only one. So, it's so weird because the offensive line is the best it's been in, like, 3 years as well. It's not good, but it is far from terrible, especially as the season's gone on. I don't know. I just don't get it with this team. Special teams wise, the team cut a lot of good special teamers in the offseason. And, I mean, when Callahan made the hire of Colt Anderson, he made that hire like 2 weeks after he made the other coordinator hires, which kind of leads you to believe he wasn't very confident in it and didn't have many options, and he just needed a familiar guy in the room. And then Ryan Stonehouse, I love Ryan Stonehouse. Every Titans fan loves Ryan Stonehouse, but he is out-kicking his coverage on almost every single punt. The ball can't be going that much further than your nearest gunner because they're going to get at least 10 yards in the return every single time. And then we almost always miss the first tackle because we cut a lot of good special teamers. So,
Who cares about special teamers? Oh,
whoopsie
oh,
daisies.
they matter.
Silly me. You know what's crazy? This is the most insane part. This is the most insane stat that you can pull in regards to this team. The Titans' defense, in terms of yardage, is still, through 8 weeks, the number one defense in total yardage. In points per game, they are 29th.
Break but don't bend, baby. Break but don't bend.
I have never seen a negative 28 differential for yards allowed versus points allowed. That's insane. That is insane.
I need to watch a Titans game because I don't even. I'm trying to picture what that looks like
It's
in
a
the
lot
game.
of return yards on special teams, and it's a lot of a lot of turnovers on offense and a terrible turnover I think worst turnover differential in the league for any team because we've only forced 2 all season long, and we've given up we're in double figures at this point easily. I don't know what the number is, but I think it's the worst turnover differential in the league, and then the defense isn't getting stops when they're put on those like sudden change positions where they're starting at their own 30-yard line trying to cover somebody. Like they don't do it. They allow touchdowns
Yes.
almost
Okay.
every time.
You guys are dead last in turnover differential, all tied
Yeah,
with Vegas
interesting.
at a negative 13. Do you want to know who number 1 is?
Yeah, tell me number one.
Number 1 is Buffalo plus 11. You want to know who number 2 is? This one's a little more important.
I'm gonna say Detroit.
Yes, Detroit, and they're tied with Pittsburgh.
Green Bay is probably pretty high. I know they've given a few away, but I know they've taken a lot away as well.
4th.
Yeah. Okay.
Or yeah, sense. 4th plus 7.
Okay, so
yeah, so you guys are tied for last.
Yeah.
And you play the team tied for 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you get.
Well, and we also gave them 4 in that game, so we should help them out in that department. And then not only that, if you look at the return yards allowed, kick and punt return yards combined, the Titans have, or no, I think it's just one of the other. I don't think it's both, but I don't remember which one it was, but the Justin Mello, one of the Titans reporters, mentioned this on his podcast the other day, and the Titans have allowed the most return yards in the league at 450. The next closest team is 320. We have more than 100 more yards allowed than the second most yards allowed by a team. I don't even know what you do. I mean, what can you do in this scenario? You're fucked. You're fucked. I mean, you're not getting good quarterback play. Your defense isn't turning the ball over. You're not getting consistent pass rush. You have the worst special teams in the league. Nothing is going right. I would like.
All right, quick little exercise.
Yeah.
Which teams are the Titans better than?
I'm not convinced we're even better than Carolina. I'm going to say sure because we beat them last year, but even that, it's a whole new coaching staff. It doesn't mean anything for both teams. So maybe we're better than Carolina. I mean, we've had some more competitive performances this season than Carolina has had. So
very true.
I don't know. Maybe we're better than Carolina. I think for us, it's more not getting out of our own way, and I think for them, they are just a really bad football team on top of that. Now, not that we aren't terrible, but a lot of our issues are us getting in our own way. Not all of them, far from all of them, but certainly some. Like, there's correctable problems with this team, but they just haven't been corrected. We're going to find out this weekend if we're better than New England. We're playing the Patriots, so maybe we're better than New England. I don't know yet.
Patriots without Drake May, presumably.
Maybe we're better than Vegas if we played Vegas. I don't think so.
They have, I mean, they still have Max Crosby.
Yeah.
And I know you guys have some good guys on defense, but Max is.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a big maybe. I don't think we are. I think we're better than Carolina. I think we're maybe better than New England. And that's the list. I don't know. So, oh well. I mean, what can you do? So, I think we should move on to the big. I just wanted to give Nicholas Prokakine that shout out because he's turned into that dude. I mean, he's just a reliable guy. I think on a competing team, he'd be a good wide receiver 4. Like, he's just that man. I love them. Love them to death. Um, best wins of the week.
Best wins. You wanna go first?
Sure, I'll kick us off here. I have a very rare twofer for this one.
Hmm.
A twofer because two
That's right.
teams
The only ever
have
one, I think.
the only ever one we've ever done, and probably the only one we're going to do all season long. And hopefully, just in general, we don't have to do this, or I won't feel compelled to do this often. Um, but the reason this is a twofer, both of these teams are currently division leaders. They only have one other team in their division that gives them real competition, and they both just swept that division opponent. So this is a twofer for both the Falcons and the Texans. They have not clinched their divisions, but I mean, at this point in the season, it's the closest you can get to clinching your division, or at least
Well,
feeling
besides
very
maybe the
good.
Bills and the
Yes, but
AFC
I mean,
East.
for like a division that looked competitive at least for a bit. The AFC East has never looked competitive this season. It's been the Bills
Yes.
division since week 2. So for the NFC South, where like the Bucks looked like a force, and then Indy played Houston tough in week 1. Indy was 4-3 coming into this game. They played them tough again this week, but they swept them. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what the score is. Houston swept them, and Jacksonville is not winning this division. Tennessee sure as shit is not winning this division. So. And then of course you've got the Panthers and the Saints in the NFC South. The Saints are not getting any healthier. Maybe Carr's coming back this way. I know he's going to start practicing, I think, but I doubt he suits up. I don't know. They have a litany of other injuries besides Carr. So
Shahid's on IR, out for the season, and then
yeah,
I forget which tackle hasn't even been playing all year.
Ramczyk has been out the whole
Yes.
season. I think. Yeah, it's been bad. It's been
Yeah.
They have definitely had worse injuries.
God, they needed to have really soaked in those first 2 weeks.
Yeah. But
Because I'm trying to think. I think when did I? Let me pull up Brayden's best. They made it eventually.
probably week 3 they were in your top 10.
Week, yeah, after week 2, so going into week 3,
Yeah.
they were number 10.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is their lone appearance. And it was
for-
begrudgingly. It was like, I don't know if I trust this, but at 2 games, I
fourth
guess.
most points scored through 2 games in NFL history. Sure, it can be top 10.
But
Yeah,
10.
for
Only
both
10.
for both Atlanta and Houston, those were big wins. I mean, you've now for sure got a guaranteed tiebreaker over the only team in your division that's competing with you. So you can afford to drop 1 or even 2 that you shouldn't later in the season, and you might still win your division. So you've got some insurance now if you're those 2 teams.
But now, can we use this to talk about something more interesting?
Yeah.
Because one of these teams suffered a loss that has caused a big change.
Oh, yes.
Almost a going into the year, like, or even maybe before that, the year before, like, you draw out the plan.
Mhm.
This is what your franchise is going to look like going forward. And question marks have only been arising as it's gone on. And that game caused extreme question marks about a player's mindset, ability to lead, and if they're the face of the franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Richardson benched by the Colts in favor of Joe Flacco.
I got a friend, big Colts fan. He went live on Instagram after this happened. He was pissed. He at this rate he wants both Steichen and Ballard gone. Now
Relax.
I have a thought here. I have a thought because it matters. I think it matters how the locker room felt about the quarterback controversy, I guess we'll call it. I don't love that term, but I think it fits here. So, yeah, the idea entering the season should be that, hey, Richardson needs reps. That's what everybody said about him in college. He didn't get the reps his rookie year because he got hurt. He needs experience to learn this game. He needs reps. Point blank, period. However, if you're sitting at 4-4 in a very weak AFC, for an especially weak year for your conference, you have a very legitimate shot at making the playoffs this year. And you're 500 through the first 8 weeks of the season. And you feel like one of your quarterbacks is better than the other, gives you a better chance of winning, gives you, a veteran, a better chance of winning a Super Bowl this year of your career than the guy who's been starting, you are going to want to see a change of quarterback. If you are somebody who's like, hey, look, I'm in my late 20s, early 30s, I want to play some winning fucking football, and Flacco's look better than Richardson. I don't want to see Richardson out there, especially after he, like, I get it. I know he was running around a lot in that game, but in the fourth quarter, in a close game on third down, and you're checking yourself out of the game, yeah, that sends a pretty bad message to your locker room. It does. So I don't
Never seen it
think
before.
I don't never. I don't think it's as simple as Shane Steichen wants to win this year. No, the locker room wants to win this year. It's not as simple as the coach and the GM aren't willing to commit to developing Richardson. I am willing to bet you that's what they want to do. But if you cannot lose the locker room on the 20% chance that Anthony Richardson stops playing horrible football. I'm sorry. It's not you only get this job once, as Joe Shane's son famously said in that Hard Knocks episode. This is not the kind of thing you get second chances at unless you showed a lot in your tenure. And maybe Chris Ballard would get a GM job at some point in his future because he's done a lot of good things. But this is Shane Steichen's first crack at it, and he had a chance to win the division in Week 18 of last year, couldn't pull it off, and so far this year is sitting at .500. At some point, this roster is talented enough. You were an offensive guru. Like, you want to make the playoffs, and your locker room sure as shit wants to make the playoffs because they want to see linear development from year 1 to year 2. If you just missed out on the playoffs in year 1, they're gonna want to see you get there the next year. It just is what it is. They pretty much kept the team together. They kept most of the roster together. That was their plan this offseason. Re-sign all their free agents, load up in the draft. Now you've got a better team and you've got your quarterback back, but the quarterback hasn't played well. And you've got another quarterback on the roster that has looked better for the most part when he's had to play. So it's not just a matter of, Steichen and Ballard and even Jim Irsay want to win games. This locker room wants to win games too. And when you see a quarterback check himself out of the game on third down in the fourth quarter of a close football game, yeah, that's not something you'd like to see as a veteran on the team. So I don't know. It's complicated. It's more complicated than they're being impatient with him. There's more to it than that. I'm almost certain. So
I hear the argument of him needing reps. I raise you a Patrick Mahomes, or maybe even more accurately in terms of reps, a Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
Let a man sit and learn.
Let a man sit and learn.
Let a man sit and learn from a pro. Joe Flacco knows that kid is the future. He's going to go out there. He's going to play. He's not going to be he probably wouldn't be the best mentor in terms of like intentionally teaching somebody something. But if he's asking questions, if he wants to learn, Joe Flacco will. And I think we saw it with Lamar. Like,
right.
Joe wasn't a dick to him. He wasn't like outwardly dragging him along, trying to show him everything. But if Lamar asked questions, Joe was there. They were friends in terms of being in that room together, that quarterback room together. Same thing would happen with Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe wouldn't have an ego about it. He's been through it once already. He looked back and is like, yeah, you know what? That guy's actually pretty good. They made the right decision doing that. He'll have zero. He came into the situation knowing that's what it's going to be like. Let him play. He's been a professional. He's been to the playoffs. He's won a Super Bowl. Sure, he's not an elite level quarterback, but sometimes those could be better to learn from because he's just not going out there, especially at this stage in his career, just getting away with everything based on pure talent. He's having to do the right things. He can help Anthony Richardson learn what the right things to do are, not just on game day, but leading up to game day. I don't. To me, it makes total sense. He should have already been sitting. I think he showed enough promise. We're going into the season. I would have played Anthony Richardson, obviously.
Certainly.
But hindsight's 2020. Hey, I guess he should have been sitting this whole time. Now he gets a chance to. He's also super young. Like, he came in kind of young, so like he's got time. He's got plenty of time.
Just barely 22.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and
so he's young. He's got plenty of time to learn. Like, let him sit and learn.
I actually saw somebody almost verbatim, that thing I was telling you about a couple months ago. Somebody verbatim almost said the exact same thing of Jaden Daniels is what Colts fans wanted Anthony Richardson to be. Again, Daniels was a 5-year starter in college. That's dumb. That's dumb, and you know it. That's a ridiculous comparison. Daniels had like 46 career starts, I think, or something like that, going into the NFL. Come on. Richardson played like 15 games. He played like 15 games between the end of his high school career and his second season in the NFL. Had like 15 starts under his belt between college and his first NFL season. I'm sorry, that's not enough. That's not enough time.
Yeah.
So not enough time to adjust to either level of competition. And again, the guy is young as shit, uber talented. I'm not out on Anthony Richardson. It's just a matter.
I just don't agree with the idea that like, oh, he's sitting so like if you the only way to learn is by being in there playing. Yeah, that's the best way to learn. It's the fastest way to learn, at least at a minimum. But like he can be getting the mental side of it down, like going through stuff, going like mentally going through the motions, seeing what's kind of happening on the field as he's learning it from the outside. When he's in there, it could be a little slower for him. He could understand it a little better and could play better. I mean, just this is the best. This is what they should. This is the right decision. Playing the better quarterback right now, letting this young guy learn. You're not giving up on him.
Yeah.
And if he has, if this does ruin Anthony Richardson's career, that the fact that they had him benched for a little while he sat and learned, he probably wasn't going to make it anyways. No. If you can't handle that in the NFL, you probably weren't meant for it anyways.
Right.
So they did the right thing.
Yeah, I agree. So, and like again, it's not just a matter of, the coaching staff wants to win. The players on this team want to win too. They probably
of course everybody wants to win.
So.
And then at some point, Anthony Richardson has to be like, damn, I'm letting people down. Like, I'm holding back this team. At some point. Maybe he's not there yet. I don't know what's going on mentally, but at some point, and if he's not, I would like some empathy from a leader.
Right.
He like, again, another thing, but maybe he wouldn't make it. And I still have faith in him, think he can take this, learn, develop, and be amazing. I've seen high-end Anthony Richardson. You see the spectacular. He can be amazing. If he just learns the little stuff.
Right.
It could be special. They're doing the right thing.
They're just too good of a team to have the luxury of playing like the guy they want to develop rather than the guy that gives them the best chance to win. It's different when you're Tennessee, and the only reason you're not playing Levis right now is because he's hurt. You're 1-6.
Yeah.
You know damn well you're not going anywhere this year. You can play the young guy and just hope something happens with him. Indy does not have that luxury. They're 4-4. They were 4-3 going into this last game. So it just is what it is. But let's move on to your best.
And then I guess while we're still talking about Colts Texans, Stephon Diggs got hurt.
He did. Out
for the season.
He is officially?
ACL. Yeah, you didn't get that, Nody?
I did not. No, I was wondering.
He is out for the season. ACL.
Knee injury and he got off the field. But okay.
So I just want to say this. I don't know. I can't remember if Nico Collins is even eligible to come back next week or if it's the week after. But even if he is, first came back from injury. But I just want to say, Tank Dell, it is time to show people what I know. Mm-hmm. It's time for you to validate my preseason belief in you.
That you were a top
10
receiver.
Go be a monster. Top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, Tank Dell. Go be a monster, please.
What's crazy is that Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins have the most receiving yards in the league of any receiver duo, and Nico Collins has been out for several weeks, and now Diggs is going to be out the rest of the season. It's going to be weird to see how they finish. Because if they finish still pretty high, that's fucking impressive. If they miss a combined 12 games, So we'll see, but your best win. Sir, your best.
Right. All of that was.
Also, by the way, girl boss affirmations. We forgot them.
You're totally right, brother.
That's the realization I had at 30 seconds.
Hey, this is for Anthony Richardson. This is a little affirmation for our fucking girl boss out there.
Let's hope this can help him.
This is from Frances Moore Lape. Even the fear of death is nothing compared to the fear of not having lived authentically and fully.
Cook. Hell yeah. She's fucking cooking. And
not
cooking because women belong in the kitchen, mind you, but cooking in the sense that what she was saying was wonderful. I respect women. I respect.
Do you remember that Burger King tweet?
Yeah, women belong in the kitchen. If they want to, of course.
If they want to, and Burger King is dedicated to helping.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, incredible bait. To get the attention.
It is great bait, and it's okay, obviously you don't mean it. You're not actually being sexist. You're saying you're giving opportunities. It's the funniest thing.
Definitely missed the mark, but it was so fucking hilarious.
I love it. I unironically think it was great.
I think it's awesome.
Because when you're evil intention isn't there, and once you acknowledge that, then it's really this is just funny.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, but my best win.
Best win, yes, sir.
Because we're getting back on track with who my MVP pick is. And we got some other stuff. And, Buffalo over Seahawks for my win of the week. Seahawks looked like they were back on the upswing. Smacked by the Bills. Keon Coleman him coming alive and
Yeah.
getting Amari Cooper, who I know had not a good game. 1 reception, 3 yards. I think Josh Allen's first interception was kind of his fault. But we know that takes time. We got kind of spoiled with a touchdown his first game, but like it will still take a little bit of time for him to learn the system, get used to the quarterback, all that. Getting Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman coming, getting more established. You see the running back depth when Cook was down for a little bit with Ray Davis, and then you throw in like Khalil Shakir. And then you throw in the tight ends, Dalton Kincaid, one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Dawson Knox, I know he's not what he used to be, but that as a tight end too is probably going to be up there for one of the better ones.
Give me back the second half season of Dawson Knox back. What was it, 2021? I think it was, or 2022. Like second half of the year, he was a monster. And then we got like half a season of incredible Dawson Knox play.
And a team that's turning the ball over, like I mentioned earlier, number 1 in turnover differential.
Yep.
But so this team's rolling. They look great. They're definitely a Super Bowl contender. We got reminded of that again.
At back-to-back games, blowing somebody else out and scoring 30-plus for an offense that was good but struggling to find its footing consistently to start the season. Amari Cooper, even if he's not making a huge impact directly, is opening things up for everybody else. And like you said about Keon Coleman, I watched the beginning of this game, and he caught a head tap touchdown on Tariq Woolen and then actually tapped his head afterwards. Fucking hilarious. And then the Woolen didn't even react, which honestly, great discipline from Tariq Woolen because almost every corner in the league would have been ready to at least have some words for him. But, I mean, Coleman just went, and then Woolen didn't even turn around. He just kept walking. So, good on him, Woolen, for not getting a reactionary penalty there because it's hard to do for a lot of corners. They're very prideful because they're playing the hardest position.
I mean, all NFL players you make physical contact after doing something embarrassing
after making an insane catch on a guy, and then you have to you kind of rub it in afterwards. Most guys react. Woolen didn't. Good on him. But I agree. Great win for Buffalo.
Your worst win.
Worst win. Let me see what I went with here. Oh, I went. It pains me. It pains me greatly to say this. And mind you, there's not a lot of great candidates for this week because there was a lot of impressive wins for the most part. But I'm going to go with Arizona. Now, they are now at the top of their division, so it's not a bad win for them. Like, it doesn't mean anything bad for them. It's just, this is, 2 weeks in a row now that they've kicked a walk-off field goal to win a game. I don't know if the way that they're winning is sustainable for a team. Although, actually, I do have a sustainable way for the Cardinals to win. Every time I watch the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. has a great game. And then every time I don't watch the Cardinals, all I hear about is, they're kind of struggling to get things going with McShay. And I'm like, bullshit. Every time I'm watching the Cardinals, he's making plays. And sure enough, I watched another Cardinals game, and there he goes again. Big catch on third. Like, third and fourth down for Arizona is just Kyler running away from 3 rushers and going, where the fuck's Marv? And then he catches it. I mean, it was a great catch, too. I think he was initially called incomplete. It got overturned. So, I don't know. Like, I love Arizona, and I really hope they win the NFC West, but it's also, they don't have any consistent pass rush. It's kind of a weird, it's still weird with Marv, not getting him going every week. Secondary's not wonderful. I don't know. I hope they can find a sustainable way to keep winning, and hopefully it's just the offense being consistent every week. But yeah, not a lot of candidates here. That's my worst win.
My worst win. I went with the Patriots over the Jets. 2 big reasons. Patriots need to be worried about the draft, so anytime they win, not good. Mm-hmm. Drake May got hurt, had to leave the game, got a concussion, which was the thing I think everyone was afraid of happening as soon as they said he was going to be playing behind that offensive line.
So now, not only did you get Drake May hurt, but now you've put yourself in a worse position to draft somebody who can protect him. So this is a bad tackle. This is a pretty good tackle class, at least at the top. That's like the one position that looks decent at the top. Decent amount of first-round caliber tackle or like early second-round caliber tackles. But the point is, like, you want to be able to have your choice at tackle.
Yeah, because going into the game, were they the first pick?
Yes, they were. They were the first pick.
And now they're not. Mm-hmm. Problem. But that's literally it though.
Yeah.
For the why.
Yeah,
Patriots fans definitely take the win because they got to embarrass Jets.
their season's over. By the way, Jets' season is over.
Unfortunately, yeah.
There's no question about. I mean, the, and at this point, you have to like. I like Joe Douglas. He's got to go. It's a failed experiment. His way of constructing this roster has not worked. At some like you gotta have a fire sale for the Jets. Get rid of your entire front office this offseason. Clean house. Bring in an entire new set of ideas. It didn't work. This is a failed regime. It just is what it is. Cut your losses. Move on.
Shouldn't have fired Robert Saleh mid-season. Obviously, that wasn't the answer.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it. I think they'd be 2-6 with Salah. Honestly, I don't think it would have made a difference.
They might be 2-6, but I think if you fire a coach,
it was early. Yeah, it's kind of an admission that your season's a failure once you fire your head coach.
Yeah, it's just a bad look. They didn't even win the game because
interims always win their first game, and they still didn't win the.
Yeah, like that's what I was just yeah, and so it's just like oh wow he might, who knows? Yeah, just bad.
Yeah, terrible week.
Yeah. So your best loss.
My best loss. I'm gonna go with. This is a weird one. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Now. They lost because Rashad Bateman had 3 drops on third down in this game. They dropped 4 interceptions. Kyle Hamilton dropped the same interception 4 times. That would have basically sealed the game because Cleveland had 3 timeouts still, I think, but it was only a minute left. So if Baltimore gets the ball back there, they really just need a first down and the game's over. So just and plus they got now. The Deontay Johnson trade, I like it because he's better than Rashad Bateman, but at the same time, we need help at wide receiver because Rashad Bateman keeps dropping passes, and then you trade for Deontay Johnson, of all players, is an interesting choice. Not exactly somebody who has the surest of hands, but, guy gets open, one of the best separators in the league, one of the best route runners in the league. I get it. It makes them better, and they're already Super Bowl contenders, so this is good. This is good for them. They're at 5-3. They probably should be closer to 7-1. So, this helps them get over the hump a little bit, so to speak. So good. Not a sustainable way to lose, and they did just get better as a result of this game because they knew they needed one more guy. So, yeah, best loss going with the Ravens.
My best loss. This is a team. The team that was the winner of this game is the back-to-back representative of this one. The team that loses to this team keeps appearing in best loss. I went with the Jags to the Packers. Last week I've had the Texans to the Packers. But yeah, Jags to the Packers just because, they have looked terribly and then they play, a good competitive game against one of the better teams in the NFL in the Packers. But you still lose. And like I said, I think, this team is looking towards the draft already.
Ideally with a new coach and GM.
I was gonna say they might be keeping Doug Peterson around just maybe to keep losing. Who knows?
I don't think he survives the off season. He might survive the season. Who knows? But
yeah, no. He's as what is it called? Black Monday. Like he's gonna be one of the first names we hear.
But also Shahid Khan is not shy about firing a guy mid-season. He didn't even give Urban Meyer an entire season. So,
that's true, but Urban Meyer had some.
There was other shit involved.
Off-field,
so he was not an adult
stuff there.
at least.
Doug Peterson, it's like he shows up to work. He ain't good at his job, but he just be showing up to work.
But he clocks in on time, and
he clocks in, he clocks out, and he causes no mess. No mess off the field.
Doesn't
but
cause any trouble. No headlines.
The biggest problem is that he clocks in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest problem.
He just doesn't get a lot of work done when he's clocked in.
So. He gets on the clock and he immediately goes, "Ooh, time to shit on company time." That's his first thought as soon as he walks in the building.
Me. In that sense,
wait a minute, I'm starting to like Doug Peterson.
Maybe I've been too
now.
hard on Doug Peterson. Maybe him and I aren't so different. Maybe him and I are kind of the same, actually. So,
but you keep your draft position, or even improve with the Patriots win. You still look competitive. You feel a little bit better about maybe some of the pieces that you have, even though you clearly need work done on the roster. And that's enough for a best loss. Your worst loss, sir.
My worst loss. I went with a team that honestly kind of fucking deserves it, and that's the Bears. No fan base needed a humbling more than these main character syndrome having motherfuckers who think the entire world revolves around them for some fucking reason. you get a quarterback who's like by some folks touted as generational, and now all of a sudden you think you're the chosen. No, the chosen one is the guy across from you. The team of destiny is not you; it's the Commanders, and yeah, honestly, a fan base that deserves it more, if we're being honest, is that one. I can't. I just most Bears fans that I've met I can't fucking stand. So I don't know what it is. I'm sure there's a lot of one for any great Bears fans out there. I'm sorry that you had to witness such a disheartening loss, but you know,
Were the fans you met, were they from Chicago?
I think at least one of them was. I don't know.
Because what if it's like a fan of a team that's not from there?
Those are my least favorite sports
there.
fans to begin with. Like, especially like the worst ones are the guy who's like, you've got one favorite team in like each corner of the country. It's like, what the fuck's wrong? Like you just don't care. So
no, he cares, bro. He just doesn't care about his city or a city. Like he could be a little military kid that moved around and was like, I got into this sport when I was here.
Like if you're living somewhere when you get into a sport and you adopt the local team of where you are now rather than where you're from, that's but like.
What if you live in like Idaho? Like you're like, I turn on the TV. This is the first time I ever saw play.
I probably wouldn't want to be an Idaho Vandals fan if I lived in Idaho, so I get it. But I mean, in general, maybe not necessarily the guy who's a fan of all different sports teams, because I guess there's rationale there. But like the guy who's like 3 teams in one city, but then he's got one team in another city. Like that's kind of weird. Like. If you're from Miami, you love the Dolphins and you love the Heat and you love the Marlins, and then there is no Miami baseball team, is there? Marlins are hockey, right? I'm not tripping.
No, Marlins are baseball.
So then does Miami have a hockey team? I'm kind of
Miami.
I don't know.
Let's go somewhere. I don't think so. Because there's Tampa Bay Lightning. Okay, I don't think there's...
Let's say... I don't know. Let's say you are a Cowboys and Mavericks and then like a Texas Rangers fan or whatever. But then...
Then you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan because Jerry Jones drives you up a fucking wall.
Okay, sure. So...
That's me.
Yeah. Granted, not that.
But your heart, as soon as Jerry Jones is no longer with us, you'll probably be right back to the Cowboys.
We'll see. Steven might not be any better.
I refuse to believe he's going to be like Jerry, like in certain aspects of being like Jerry. The single story of Steven making Jerry draft Zach Martin instead of Johnny Manziel, I'm like, I'll give you a shot.
Okay,
I'll give you a shot. I don't give a fuck about anything else.
That's fair. So, I don't know. I'm losing the plot here. Anyways, worst loss. Give me the fucking Bears. They deserve it. I'm not. No. They still have a good shot at being the 7 seed. Like it's not.
Yes.
This isn't. I mean, depending on how the locker room responds, actually, is a good, because that is a collapse and a half.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's not like the coaching staff there is very good. So. You kind of have to keep the locker room together by virtue of, being...
It was the one side of the ball that collapsed that I felt decent, at least, I felt good about with the coaching staff.
Yeah. I was ready to think that game was over before the Hail Mary.
Dude, have you seen the video of the Commanders fan getting interviewed during the play?
No, I haven't seen that.
He's like, you know what, man? It feels like a win. The whole crowd goes crazy. He looks over. He's like, what'd I tell you? It is a win.
Watching that live was fucking insane. Great to see. Noah Brown, shout out, former Cowboy.
Dude,
love Noah Brown. Just randomly good wide receiver sometimes. I don't know. Noah Brown.
Yeah, sometimes last year with the Texans,
he had a 170-yard game last year because I think Nico Collins
crazy.
was out.
What the fuck is this guy?
That was right after Tank Dell's injury, and I think Nico Collins was out that game, so he was like, "Man, fuck you, 170-yard," and then they didn't re-sign him. Because they got Stephon Diggs or whatever. I've never seen Stephon Diggs do what Noah Brown just did, but whatever. Noah Brown's healthy.
I saw Stephon Diggs do something more impressive on his end.
Oh, what? I mean, when you've got 2 defenders tackling each other,
yeah, no, yes, but
no, Not that what Noah Brown did technically had a ton of degree of difficulty. He just had to sit behind the Hail Mary and hope that somebody tipped it his way, and then Tyreek Stevenson did.
Yeah, he had to run less. That's why I give the edge
Yeah.
to what Diggs did.
Stevenson's responsibility on that play was also to box out Noah Brown, but he was too busy taunting the crowd. So, like I said,
and then when he did realize what was happening, he didn't go to do his assignment.
No, he went to be the guy. He wanted to be the guy that tips the ball away, but he batted it upwards towards Noah Brown, right into his. Noah Brown didn't even have to move. It was right into.
Noah
his
Brown's
hands.
like, okay, guys, I get that I'm not an elite receiver. I'm still an NFL wide receiver. I'm catching that fucking ball.
He had enough good performances last year for you to not want to just like, we don't have to cover Noah
Dude,
Brown.
fuck it. He has a set of hands. I think that even if you were on the field, they would cover you.
I don't know how tall he is.
In that situation.
He's like 6'1". He might only be 6 feet, but his height starts with a 6. You don't just leave on a Hail Mary. You do not leave him uncovered.
Yeah. Especially when a lot of corners are like 5'10".
That's what I'm saying. He's going to have a height advantage on, or at least equal on most DBs. Cover him. Please. Anywho, your worst loss, what we got going on?
I'm still not done. I'm still not jumping off the bandwagon yet. I won't until they're mathematically eliminated. But gosh, is it the toughest uphill climb right now?
I'd argue,
the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'd argue there's never been an easier climb for a team in their position to be a playoff
yes, because
team
the reason I'm another
terrible.
Another reason I'm not jumping off is because I look at like the 7th and 6th seed in the AFC, and I'm like, in my heart, I think the Bengals are better than these teams.
I think they beat both the Colts and the Chargers on a neutral field. Yeah, I think they would.
Yeah, I think the Broncos. I think the Broncos are in the playoffs right now. I think they're
definitely above Indy. They should be above both because they beat the Chargers as well.
Yeah.
It's Denver, Pittsburgh, and then it's either
no. Pittsburgh's winning the division right now.
Oh, then Ravens. Okay, Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens is the 5th seed.
And Broncos are 6th, I would imagine, and then 7th is either Chargers or Colts would have to be. I don't know which one. I think it's Chargers because they just.
By the way, I think they're better than those last two. So if it were to happen, like the door is open when you throw in who that quarterback is, what we've seen this team do before, where they kind of get it together, and go on a crazy run. Like we've seen it. I'm going to still choose to believe it, but this was a tough blow.
It's bad.
I think this is the most I've been worried.
For them to get blown out too at this point, it's like this is the time of year you're supposed to be putting shit together. And it's like it's not like you have the excuse you did last year if Joe Burrow isn't playing.
The biggest problem is he's been great this year. I didn't check to see really what he was like this last game, but for the year on a whole, like he has been great. Jamar Chase has been great.
This is the worst defense they've had in a long time in Cincinnati. It's the worst defense they've had in years.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's necessarily Lou Anarumo's fault. I think it's more of like, you let DJ Reader walk. I think they let somebody else.
I think they've had injuries to that position group on top of that.
Right.
But yeah, it's tough. I would have expected Lou to elevate what was there, but that hasn't happened.
It's hard though sometimes for like he's doing something well and they're just not executing. I don't know. Like I don't love blaming players, but sometimes like for a guy like Lou who has a really good track record of coaching really good defense, it's hard to say it's his fault. So I don't know.
But let's do picks now. I think I'm done with these games. Let's see, because last week, where is it? I won by a single point. Because we only picked one game different.
We did.
We did. We only picked just the one. Buffalo, Seattle. Buffalo did win. Mm-hmm. So they gave me my single point. But we both had a relatively good week. I had 11 correct. You had 10 correct.
We've both gotten at least 10 correct like the last 3 weeks. We've had a pretty good run. We're in the double digits.
Yeah, we're on a good run. Yes.
Yeah. We started off slow. We've been doing pretty well, though.
We're both on a 3-week run of getting at
double
least 10.
Double digits, yeah.
You're 10 3 straight. Mm-hmm. I went 10 2 straight, got 11 last week.
Yeah, so in the last 3 weeks, you're up 1. Been close.
Yeah, so now I am, it is 78 to 69. You just had some tough early weeks. Mm-hmm. First week was bad with 4, and then week 4 you had like 3. It was a 3 difference, so got to lock in, brother.
I'm locking in. Don't even worry about me.
But let's lock in with Texans at Jets. Got to go with the Texans.
I am gonna go with the Jets in this game. On the
Okay.
pure basis of like we've seen it already not look great. Houston's passing game without Nico Collins. Now there's no Diggs there either. It's not gonna get better. Not against this secondary. I'm gonna go with the Jets. This is not now.
Give me the over on C.J. Stroud's rushing yards.
The Jets are favored, by the way, in this game. I just need that to be.
I don't care.
I'm just throwing that out there. The Jets are favored. Now you know what? You know what's fucking insane?
What?
The Jets are only favored by half a point less than the Falcons are against Dallas, and Falcons are at home. Vegas is giving Dallas half a point advantage on a neutral field. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful as fuck. I mean, Atlanta's been much better this year than Dallas has. I don't know where the fuck that's coming from. Give me the Falcons.
The Cowboys can't stop the run, and they're going to have to play
cover too.
Bijan and Tyler Algier.
I might bet on that. Give me Atlanta to cover. That's 2.5.
Definitely.
Ridiculous. Broncos at Ravens. Give me the Ravens.
Ravens. We flock, baby.
Dolphins at Bills. Bills are at home.
Give me the Bills.
Just a much better team right now.
Easy pick. It's gonna be tough for me to ever really pick against the Bills, just because I'm like, I just in my heart believe Josh Allen's gonna be MVP. I will always pick. I'll probably just be picking the Bills from here on out for the rest of the season.
Saints at Panthers. The Saints are 2-6. The Panthers are 1-7. The Saints are on the road and they're still favored by 7 in this game. Jesus
7?
Christ. The Panthers are bad.
Panthers are bad.
Give me New Orleans, though. Give me New Orleans. Not by much, but give me New Orleans.
Derek Carr's not playing, correct?
I don't know. I don't know if it's either him or Jake Hayner. I don't think Rattler's gonna play this. Start this game. Carr might be back. It might be Jake Hayner in this game.
I'm gonna make this pick under the assumption that Carr is not playing, and I will go with the Panthers. If it's announced that Carr is playing, I will be switching the pick to the Saints.
Fair enough. Give me in the next week. We've got Raiders at Bengals. If the Bengals can't win this game, it might be time for heads to roll. The Raiders are awful.
Oh, if the Bengals lose this, I'm like, all right, guys, it is over. Pack it up. Maybe sell at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
When is the trade deadline?
It's probably Tuesday at 4 or maybe Wednesday at 4. One of those two.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen right before our recording. It's probably. But I mean, yeah, they should win this. They should absolutely win this. Okay. Now we've got.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about next week.
Yeah.
Because it'll be halfway of the season.
Yep, we got to do
trade deadline.
We've got to do our new record or final season predictions for standings and awards and shit.
I'll tell you right now, we don't have to talk about it, but I do not know what I'm going to do for Defensive Player of the Year.
I have a pick for who should be.
The guy that I'm thinking of, I'm like, that team's not making the playoffs, though.
No, they won't, but at the same time, he's clearly been the best defensive player. He's been the best player in the league this year, easily. So
it's probably a big enough gap to where he might still win it.
Well, I'll wait until next week to get disrespectful about who the current odds-on favorite is, but I have some words to say because it's fucking ridiculous. The hand.
Dude, read the jersey.
Yeah,
read the jersey.
Mickey Mouse.
But Chargers at Browns.
Chargers by 50. I don't care about Cleveland's performance last week at all. Very fluky win against.
You don't think Cedric Tillman can do that again?
There's nothing fluky about Cedric Tillman. I've always been on Cedric Tillman, and I mean, it was not a popular take, among Vols fans at least. But Cedric Tillman was hurt, and Hyatt was putting up 250 yards against Nick Saban's defense, and I said that's fine. Tillman's the better NFL player, and he has been by leaps and bounds as far as I'm concerned, especially the last 2 weeks. Now that he's really gotten a chance to actually get some playing time, he has made the most of it. So good for him. I'm happy for him. Hopefully he plays without a sexual predator at quarterback next year. He deserves it, certainly. So
I doubt it.
You don't think
they'll find a way?
Yo,
dude, a scandal's gonna come out right before the draft about one of these quarterbacks.
Cleveland's gonna draft fucking Jaden Delara. He did something. I know he did something along.
No, one of these quarterbacks is gonna have something come out right before draft time. It's gonna hit their stock's gonna hit, except for one team. One team's still gonna have a first round grade on them.
You know what? It's probably Carson Beck. Weird ass fucking If you've seen a Snapchat screenshot.
But there's a level of like
No, I'm just kidding. He's
that
not like
that type of freak.
right. Like he doesn't seem like the kind. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I mean that's not an indicator that he doesn't care about consent. It just means he's fucking weird with women, which is like a lot of college athletes. So it's hardly.
I I remember I showed my sister that Snapchat because we were just at dinner, like we were at lunch or something, and on the TV Georgia was playing. I was like, and they showed Carson Beck's face. I was like, "You think he's cute?" And she was like, "Not really." And I was like, "Check out this snap that he sent somebody." She was like, "What the
tits
fuck?"
get my shit on hard immediately. Not trying to be weird though. Oh my god, KJ Jefferson sent one time where while he was still at Arkansas, where he sent this girl. He was like, "After this win, I'm trying to suck them titties." However, he said after this win, KJ Jefferson knew he had to earn the right, earn the privilege of the opportunity, not the right, because you don't have a right to that shit. But I mean,
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
I'm going with the Chargers, but I do respect KJ Jefferson at least, thinking, hey, I'm gonna win this game first, and then I'm gonna suck some titties. Not talking about titties while he's still riding the bench. But give me, this is almost a little silly. Although I get the Commanders are only favored by 3.5. I know they're on the road and it's a divisional opponent, but like, okay. I mean, Daniels is only gonna get a little healthier this week.
I think the team
Giants are
scored the
not
same
good.
amount of points last week.
They both scored 18. That's true. Giants lost 18-26. Commanders won 18-15 or 14, whatever the hell it was.
I think it was
14.
But either way, I'm going with the Commanders.
Give me Manders. Patriots at Titans. I finally picked my first Titans game correctly last week. It took me until week 8, 7th game of the season, for me to finally pick a Titans game correctly. Hopefully that starts a streak. And honestly, I think I'm gonna. Now, if we lose this game, I'm not picking us the rest of the season. This is the last time I'm picking a Titans win.
I'm going with the Titans.
I'm taking Tennessee in this game. But
and
now,
my record with the Titans this year?
By a field goal. I'm taking Tennessee by a field goal or less.
When it comes to picking Titans,
are you undefeated?
One loss.
One loss. Oh, that was
Packers. Malik Willis.
Okay. Yep. That's
was
fair.
not expecting him to look like that.
Well, when your coach is Matt LaFleur, who we had at one point, by the way, but we decided we'd rather have Mike Vrabel because we interviewed them both for the head coach position that year. Then LaFleur ended up being our OC while Vrabel was the head coach. But we could have had LaFleur as our head coach as early as that year, and we wouldn't be in the position we're in right now. But, whatever. We've got Bears at Cardinals the following week. God, I want Arizona to win so bad. I don't think it's happening, though. Give me the Bears.
This is an interesting game because it's like, what are the Bears mentally?
This is the second week in a row that there's been like a 4:00 game with an actual entertaining storyline. Oh, never mind. There's another one that is way more interesting than this. I lied. But the 4:00 slate has gotten better the last couple weeks, given Manders Bears last week plus Bears Cardinals, and then we've got another game coming up here. But yeah,
give me.
Bears, but
give me the Cardinals. They're at home.
Okay, fair enough. Respect it.
Jags, Eagles. Unfortunately, I got to go Eagles.
Give me Philly, but Jags hopefully have some fun with it. Doug Peterson revenge game, maybe we'll see.
That's true. That's a good point.
Lions at Packers.
I can't pick against the Lions right now.
I can't either. Neither can Vegas. They're favored on the road.
In the division. Yeah. Wow.
Give me which means they'd be favored by 6.5 on a neutral field. It's pretty impressive. So, give me Detroit. Yeah. But now this is an interesting one, and
I guess I'm gonna go Rams.
I am too.
It's kind of tough, but I wish
they're getting healthy at the right time now. The season's far from over. They're only a game back. Like
if they lose this game, do they trade?
They should. I think if they lose this game, they should trade Cup. They don't have to trade anybody else, but they should trade. Like I'm not a trade Stafford guy. I don't think there's even like a reasonable taker right now. That wouldn't make sense this late in the season.
Well, there were some heavy rumors about a team.
That was bullshit. I mean, there's just no way. That was horse shit. That was never going
give
to. A Darnold for Stafford swap at this point in the season was never going to happen. That's a team that was because the Vikings were 5-1 at the time, and the rumor was, oh, they're going to trade Darnold for Stafford. No, no, the fuck they are not. Not when you're 5-1. Yeah, but yeah, give me the Rams to win this one. Colts at Vikings. I think the Vikings' short losing streak ends here. I think they get this win. I think we're going to see a Ginkle monster pick 6. Joe Flacco is going to throw an ill-advised pass to Andrew Van Ginkel. It's going to get run back to the house.
I'm definitely riding with the Vikings. Is there a world where the Colts are like, yeah, let's start Joe Flacco primetime against a good team for him to lose so we can take heat off Anthony Richardson now and we can play him again without fans?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. My world is more interesting than yours.
Okay, yeah, maybe I do need to. I mean, I should be more whimsical about football, which is why I'm picking Tampa to beat Kansas City. No, I'm not. I'm picking Kansas City.
I probably would if like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin didn't get hurt.
Well, maybe Trey Palmer will wake up pissed off and he'll actually score a touchdown this time. I did bet on Trey Palmer over on the touchdowns last week, comboed with the Pollard rushing yards. Pollard hit the rushing yards. Palmer did not get a touchdown. He hasn't gotten a touchdown the last couple times now that he's been pissed off. So it's no longer an exact science for him. Give me KC.
Do the Bucks' three-headed monster running backs take over?
There's no three-headed monster with Rashad White. I'm sorry, that man stinks.
No, don't do that. Don't be mean.
White stinks.
He does not
Rashad
stink.
White stink. No, he doesn't stink. I just don't like him.
You just don't like the style of running back he is, where it's just like
running backs
bad
running
vision, but good pass.
Who can only catch the ball. Like that's all he does. I'm sorry. It's like you have running in your name. You should be able to run the football somewhat effectively. Rashad White's terrible.
You know what? Game-winning touchdown by Rashad White coming up. Give me the Bucks.
If that actually happens, well, I don't know. I don't. We'll talk about it next week if that actually.
We'll do something.
I'll do
2.5 weeks from now. We could do something 2.5 weeks from now.
We can. We're getting time. We're getting close to that reveal. We've made our game picks. Have you?
Brayden's
you haven't.
best.
I was gonna say you haven't given me Brayden's breast yet.
So. We're gonna rapid fire it.
Rapid fire.
Should I even give reasonings? Should I just?
Just fire them. I mean, we know who these teams are at this point.
All right, you ready? I will say this. I will interject after number 4.
Okay.
All right, number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, Detroit Lions. Number 3, Buffalo Bills. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens. To me, that's the cutoff for like elite, true Super Bowl contending teams. I think those are the top 4. I think it's clear.
Yeah.
Then number 5, I went with the Vikings. 6, I got Texans. 7, I got Packers. 8, I got Commanders. 6, you know what? Let me take it back. 6, I have Packers. 7, I have Texans.
I was gonna say I don't understand that at all. I wouldn't have gotten that in the slightest had you stuck with that. I would have refuted that heavily. So I'm glad.
Because I forgot they played 2 weeks or
a
couple
weeks ago, and the Packers won that game. It'd be a bit unfair to put Houston above them.
But I think my reasoning was if Nico Collins flips that game for me. And if he when he comes back.
Yeah, but now they've got Diggs out for the year, so it's not
that's not
Collins
the same.
Collins is better. I mean, obviously Collins is better. I've been on that train all year, but
to me, like significantly so, where it doesn't like Diggs' injury versus having Collins out is just not.
Fair enough.
But I will flip that just because they played. 8 Commanders, 9 Falcons, and at number 10 I went with the Cardinals.
I respect it. I respect it. Although, honestly,
okay.
I think the Commanders are beating Houston on a neutral field. I don't feel good about Houston at all. They're a very good team, but I think they're the weakest very good team in the league.
I don't think I agree.
That's fair.
Here, is this 2 weeks from now when Nico Collins is back?
We'll see how they look when Collins is back. I'm sure I'll feel better about them when he's back. But
to me, then, I won't react to the first game of him back because I always
give it a couple weeks. Yeah, give it a couple weeks back from injury. But I don't know.
And even then, I still am not convinced because I think Texans have a better defense than the Commanders.
I mean, yeah, I mean the Commanders' best corner is Benjamin St. Juste, which, by the way, trade deadline. I would love to see like J.C. Horn go to the Commanders at the trade deadline. That'd make a ton of sense, I think, for both teams.
All right, let's cut deep. Let's just
deep.
breeze through 3 questions, one each.
I think so. I think it's a wonderful idea.
All right, icebreaker. What's the most unusual place you've fallen asleep?
Been at work a couple times. Uh-oh.
I've definitely fallen asleep in a bathtub before. Like taking a bath, just like.
Not a ton.
Hold on, let me get Dirk.
Okay. God, he's hot. He's fucking sexy. God, his ass looks so nice in that Stitch costume. Where, Dirk? I got a Bowie right there. Hi, Bowie. I love you. Hi, Sleepy. He's a real sweet guy. We had a really nice cuddle session when I got home from work yesterday. He sat on my chest for like 5 minutes on the bed. It was really nice. It was really nice. He's a sweet little guy, and we had ourselves a great time. He's a good friend. Very good friend. Speaking of good friends, that guy right there. Yeah, right there. He's wonderful. He's coming back. Hi, handsome.
What's up, brother?
I was talking shit about you while you were gone, by the way. Told the audience how much I hate you.
Did you answer the question?
Probably at work. I don't know that I've fallen asleep in a ton of strange places.
Yeah, me neither.
Although, like, at home in my chair before I've done that, but, like, that's not ridiculous. But, like, at work, I have fallen asleep in my chair at work. It's...
All right. This next question will be easy and quick to answer. You don't need to elaborate because usually what we've been on is elaborating on this. Live without music or without television?
Yeah, you didn't even have to tell me the other one. It's without television. I
agree.
I could not live in a world without music. No question.
Television would suck without music.
Yeah, imagine TV shows with no soundtrack. Like, that shit. No anime openings. No fucking no suspense, like tension building. Like, oh my god, that shit would be any other form of media pretty much besides reading would be terrible without music. So, yeah, music, no question about it. Let's keep that shit.
Okay, I don't think we know enough to even answer this one. What characteristic about your partner's family do you find appealing?
I don't know shit about your family for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know anything about yours.
My mom's awesome.
Yeah, I do know about you. Yeah, your mom's awesome.
Yeah.
So, cool mom.
Cool
That's
mom.
the most appealing thing. But yeah.
I like Dirk. That's family. I love Dirk.
Dirk is definitely family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's.
You can say Bowie if you want. I've got.
You want to do a You want to do a 3-question wavelength?
Let's do it. 3-question wavelength. I'm guessing first because
yes,
I'm hosting.
You close your little eyes.
My little eyes.
Hold on. Let me think. Okay. All right. I have shown a number to the camera. Time to start guessing.
Favorite or not favorite? Excuse me. Give me a sandwich.
Okay. Let's go with. Let's go with turkey.
Anything else, or just turkey slapped between 2 pieces of bread?
You want me to make a full sandwich now?
Well, I mean, what else? You don't have to be a ton else on it. It was like, is there mayonnaise on it? Is there cheese on it? Like, what else is on the sandwich?
Bread, turkey.
No shit. Okay.
Okay. Well, apparently it mattered to you.
Bread and turkey. What else?
Bread, turkey, light mayo spread.
Okay.
Some lettuce.
Okay.
let's say American cheese. I don't know
Okay,
cheeses.
just a cheese on there, just some cheese.
Yeah, some cheese on there.
Okay.
The bread's lightly toasted.
Okay, so we've got a little. I'm gonna say 7. We've got a little fun with this one. This is a 6 or 7. If you're lightly toasting it, you got a light spread, not too much. You don't want to just a mouthful of mayo. I like turkey. I'm a pretty big turkey guy. Some lechuga on the sandwich, add some texture. You've got some greens in there. I think a 6 or a 7 is about the range I'm hovering in here. So,
Okay.
I had one earlier today that I thought of when I got home from work, and I forgot it, which is not good. I don't like doing that. Give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me more, give me, give me. Shit. Film genres. Give me a film genre. Not that any is inherently better than another, but just in terms of your enjoyment of what you've seen from the genre.
There are.
Okay,
Let's
fair
go
enough.
with like rom-com.
It's kind of what I was thinking you were going to say. I don't feel any differently than 6 or 7. I kind of enjoy those. I'm going to say maybe the sandwich was pretty plain, maybe. But I mean, I like simplicity in my sandwiches too. I don't need to do nothing too crazy. I don't know. Fuck, can I say 6.5? I mean, I'm thinking 6, but I kind of fucks with some rom-coms. Like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, that's my shit right there. The Notebook, that's my shit right there. So, you put Ryan Gosling or Matthew McConaughey in the movie, I'm fucking watching it, right? So,
Matthew McConaughey? Are you a 40-year-old woman?
fuck yes. God damn it.
Honestly,
All
actually,
right.
yeah, you are. A lot of things about you are pretty 40-year-old woman coded.
Hey, I understand. Give me. One more. I better make it count. Fuck. Give me a running back. Give me a running back.
Run back.
Run it back.
Run
Run it back, Turbo.
Rashad White.
6. Can't be any higher than a 6 if you can't run the ball. 6. Final answer. 6. Lock it
Final
in.
answer? It is number 6.
Let's sir. Let's yes sir.
You
Let's
want to know
go.
why?
Why is that?
626.
626. Am I missing something?
Stitch. Experiment
Oh.
number
It's
626.
been a minute for me since I.
I had to Google it. I had to Google it. I was like, let me see what his experiment number is to pick for my number. And since
Okay.
6 was in there twice, I was like, oh, easy.
Fair enough.
Nice.
All right. Shut them beautiful little eyeballs you got there.
Oh, right.
The audience has seen what I have wanted them to see.
All right. Disney Channel animated movie.
Pass. I did not.
What?
Fuck. Give me fucking Phineas and Ferb. Across the second dimension. Is that Disney? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Yes. I guess. Yeah. I guess that
You said
counts.
animated. I don't know. What other would I be thinking of?
Did I say Disney Channel?
You said Disney Channel animated movie.
Oh, I didn't mean to put the channel in there.
Oh, Disney animated movie. Okay, now we're cooking with gas.
Somebody play that back. Did I really say channel?
Yes, you said channel. I promise you.
Huh.
I'll send you a video of the record. We're at 1:13:36.
I don't need to see video of it.
I'm gonna fucking show you the video. I don't know enough of these. Like I haven't watched one. Give me Moana.
Okay, I've never seen that
It's
one.
getting a sequel, so give me Moana. You've never seen Moana?
Nah.
Damn.
I was like, man, Rock I think it was during my era, and I still am not really out of it all the way. Where I'm like, yeah, The Rock's kind of annoying.
No, he is. I'm 100% with you on this. He's annoying. He's like kind of like a fake nice guy. Like
He's just a fake guy. Like, I'm just like
yeah,
that. You're not a
everything
real
about him
person,
is
dude.
he's kind of an advertisement. Like
Yeah.
he's just kind of like he's almost like Shaq a little bit, but like even worse so, where he's just kind of a
Yeah,
blank slate.
Shaq's soul is still in
has,
there.
Shaq has personality, but he will just if you write him a check big enough, he will advertise anything. But for Dwayne Johnson, you could probably give him a bag of peanuts and he'd wear your shoes. Like I don't know, everything about him feels very manufactured. But yeah, anywho, he does a good job in that movie though.
Okay. Well, I mean, Moana sequel. I've heard it's really good. 7. Is it just what I'm guessing? 7.
Uh-huh. Hi, Dirk.
Give me. Um. Shit. Give me a genre of music.
Oh boy, give me. Damn. Give me industrial hip hop. Look, man.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a subgenre, but like I don't know. I don't like generalizing like big genres. You know, 'cause there's a lot of shit
Industrial
music.
hip hop.
Industrial hip hop.
You hate industry, so
I don't
it
think
can't
you
be
know what
that
industrial means in this sense.
No. You hate industry, so this
Okay.
is maxing out at a 4.
Sure.
The Rock is in Moana, so maybe it's a 4.
Sure.
Give me. Gosh. Well, let's just. Okay, let's just
Lock
connect
in.
here.
Lock in.
Give me a color of the rainbow.
I think you've actually asked me this one before, and it's weird because there's
Probably.
only 7 of them, and I have 10 numbers to work with, so it's kind
Yep.
of weird. Sleeper pick here. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Indigo.
No, because this is all over the place.
It's not. I don't think it is.
Because you would have that high, my guess. But then Moana felt like middle of the pack,
You've never seen it.
and then industry.
Well, you keep saying industry.
low.
It's not. It's not. If anything, the genre itself is very anti-music industry. There's not a lot of.
Nah.
Okay. Okay. Sure thing.
Let's just Soul Link on the color indigo. Let's go 8. Final answer.
9. Close.
Damn.
Close, man.
Damn.
We were almost locked. It's like I said, the rainbow's weird. There's 7 colors. I got 10 options. It's a tough.
Damn.
Tough. It's tough. Indigo though goes hard. Good color. Very good color. Especially as a color of the rainbow in particular, I think it elevates it. Indigo by itself is a solid color. I think in the rainbow though, it's a banger. Certified banger. I don't know. Industrial hip hop, that's like Death Grips and like JPEG Mafia and shit. I love that shit.
Yeah, stuff I've never heard.
Whatever. That's going. Oh, hang on. Let me hold that thought. Is it? Okay. Actually, no. I don't need to hold that thought. It's time.
All right.
We have an announcement.
I'm gonna do the normal intro, and then we'll say what's going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, top 3 of the week. Things to do when I visit Jacob.
November 15th. This handsome young man's flying into town. Along with Gabriel. We're all
Another
going to be
handsome
together, actually. So, we have... I know we have the same number 1. And
We do. We gotta wait,
I'm sure
though.
the folks at home know what it is, too, but we'll get there. But sir, you're our guest. Number 3. What is it for you?
Mine, number 3. Meeting Bowie in
Oh
person.
hell yeah! There he is.
Meeting Bowie in
Hi.
person. I've
He
seen him
just
through
perked up. He
the.
heard you. He heard you.
I've seen him through this screen a bunch. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen him on the phone a bunch of Jacob sending them.
Mm-hmm.
I will finally get a chance to meet him in person.
Assuming he lets you. He's a little shy.
That's my number 3. Your number 3, sir.
But that's probably Gabe's number 1, by the way. Just need to throw that out there. He's been talking about it ever since he said it's gonna happen. My number 3. So, all 3 of us are very intimately familiar with Raising Cane's. There is a Raising Cane's 45 minutes away from me. So my number 3 is us going on a mini road trip to go somewhere familiar and to have a grand old time.
I'm down, dude. I'm definitely down for that.
It's in Clearwater. It's 45 minutes to an hour depending on traffic. It's not far at all. Not a bad drive. So we're going to
the European mind can't comprehend
cannot
that
comprehend
sentence you
driving
just said.
45 minutes to go get fast food, but I can. So that's fine with me. Your number 2.
My number 2, I guess I know the restaurant now, but my number 2 was going to be getting dinner with both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Having some dinner, just sitting down somewhere, eating.
We could actually go to a restaurant for that though. At some
We'll
point.
be there. We're there more than one day.
Right. We can actually like.
We'll have more than one meal together.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we have all of them together at least.
Yes.
Unless while Gabe's at work, he might get lunch while he's like at work. But other than that,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. My number 2 was grubbing with the boys.
Grubbing with the fellas. So. I mean that works for me. My number 2.
Sir.
I'd like for us to just all take a walk together. That'd be
Okay.
pretty cool. In fact, there's this pink house behind my apartment complex. Got to show you guys. It's really pretty. So, gotta let the guys know. Now, here's the obvious one. Number 1 for
Yes.
for the
both of our
us.
number 1s, ladies and gentlemen.
In-person
It is
podcast.
in-person pod. Yes,
In-person
yes, sir.
podcast. No
Without a
question
doubt.
about it. Gotta be done while you're here, even though that's not going to be recorded on Tuesday.
It'll
And-
probably be us just shooting the shit instead of talking about the NFL.
We can just we'll just fuck around and we'll just talk about how the trip's going, how things are, whatever the case may be. But I mean, it's just gonna be 2 dudes, just and there's a lot of like casual intimacy, some homoeroticism certainly in that.
Oh yeah,
podcast
we might
episode.
kiss.
You never know.
I'd say it's 50-50.
I think there's a good shot. It's a good shot.
It's 50-50.
I think so. I think it's a good number. But yeah, I mean, that's the news. Brayden and Gabe are both coming to see me the same weekend, so I am so fucking excited. Bowie is probably not excited because new people scare him, but he'll get used to it. It's okay. So now we do what we've been on.
Can we do a rapid fire? What we've been on?
Yes,
My
I
dog
only
is
have-
losing his mind.
I only have one thing. It's fine with me.
Okay. I'll go first quickly. The Penguin. Seen some more of it. It is each episode, like everyone say, it's just getting better and better. I mean, it's been actually maybe it's not even getting better. It's just been so consistently great each episode. But since they're building off each other, each episode individually kind of feels better than the last, just because of that domino effect. But yeah, last episode was great. I think there's only 2 more episodes left, and I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know where this is gonna lead. This is definitely gonna tee up something for the Batman 2. But yeah, 3. I would say 3 outstanding performances in Oz, Sophia Falcone, and Victor Aguilar. Those 3 characters, all the actors giving outstanding performances. It's been amazing to watch. But I think that's about the only thing I've truly been on outside of stuff for YouTube. So, sir, what have you been on?
New Tyler, the Creator album came out yesterday morning at 6 a.m. It's pretty good. It's not like incredible. He's certainly, the last 3 albums he put out before this were all better. But still really good. I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it a lot. But, more importantly, another Mount Erie single released at midnight last night. I cannot wait for this album. I am going to be so ridiculously insufferable when it comes out on on Friday. You will not hear the end of it on next week's What We've Been On segment, and Brayden will not hear the end of it probably when he's in town because I will be playing it in the car, more than
Yay.
likely. Oh, and I've been going through some of Bright Eyes' discography. So I listened to they have an album called Lifted. It was really I liked it almost as much as I liked I'm Wide Awake It's Morning. I
I'm wide awake.
listened to Casadiga, I think it's called. I didn't love that one. The writing was good. I didn't love the way it sounded. But then Digital Ash and a Digital Urn, I did quite enjoy that one. I like the sound of that one a little more. And the writing is always strong. Connor Oberst is one of my favorite songwriters ever. Um, that guy fucks. So, and what I didn't know is that that was actually a back to back. Digital Ash and a Digital Urn came out the same day. It was January, I think 24th, 2005. Came out the same day as I'm Wide Awake It's Morning. I didn't know that. So that's pretty cool. But, sir, I do believe that's it for me. And if you don't have anything else, then
Nope.
boy, do I have some heaters to talk about as far as music goes next week. The Cure is dropping, West Side Gun is dropping, Uzi, I think, is dropping EA too. Now that I'm going to listen to it with all the other shit that's coming out, but we'll see. Um, that's it for me. Is that it for you?
That is.
Folks, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching. As always, next week's episode will be on Brayden's channel, so, go some Scrizzle. He's got a ton of other shit too, so, go watch his other stuff. Check out that new couch gaming video he's got on the way. And have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated, stay clean, stay fresh. I love you. Hugs and kisses. Peace out.